In this video, we'll see how two shapetweens were choreographed using ActionScript and a structured timeline. The diagram on the stage depicts the relationship between the timelines of two objects that are in this scene. One of those objects is called Horizon, the other object is called Sun. Both contain shapetweens of graphics. If we select the object that's called Horizon, we'll notice in the property inspector here that it's been given a name Horizon. We also have an object that's a part of this composition that's called Sun. It's currently inaccessible directly on the stage, but a tab on the side here makes it possible for us to select it. We'll notice when we do select it that in the property inspector it says Sun. Because both the Horizon and Sun object have been given names, it is possible to pass communications between the two. Initially in the Horizon timeline, we see the animated shapetween playing. Halfway through its cycle it arrives at a stop ActionScript. Included with that ActionScript is a set of instructions that tell the Sun object to begin playing. Before that time, the Sun object is turned off or in a stop mode. It begins to animate. As it plays and arrives at the end of its sequence, it finds another ActionScript that both instructs the Sun object to return to its initial position and tells the Horizon object to continue animating now. The animation that's in the Horizon object now completes its cycle, and when it arrives at the end of that cycle, there are no further instructions or action scripts, and so by default, the playback head returns to the beginning and the cycle starts anew. If we double click on the Horizon object, we'll see inside this movie clip that there are three layers. The bottom layer contains our shapetween. The middle layer contains a series of labels, and the top layer has a single frame with actions on it. When we scrub the playback head, we see the shapetween goes through half a cycle before it arrives at an action. That action tells the playback head to stop and to send the message over to the Sun object to play its sunrise frame label. If we return to the top of the scene and find our Sun, we'll see inside there it also has several layers. The bottom layer contains the actual shapetween. Immediately above it is a layer that just contains a graphic that makes it possible for us to select this when it's not on stage. And then it also has a labels layer and an actions layer above it. The initial frame label in here and action tell the Sun to stop. If we roll out the actions, we'll see initially the Sun is in a stop mode and it does nothing. The Horizon passes a message over to the Sun object that says change to a new label. That new label is located over in this position. We can see at frame 4 that we have sunrise. Once the playback head jumps to sunrise, there are no actions telling it to stop, and it begins to play. And when it does, a round ball animates across the screen. At the end of that sequence, we do see another action. If we roll out our actions dialog, we'll see the action tells the Sun to return to its first frame, which is called start, and it also says send a message back to the Horizon object and tell it to go to and play return. Let's close up the actions, go back to the top of the scene, open up our Horizon object, and see where return is. There's our return. So in the meantime, the playback head has been sitting here on pause, waiting. The Sun rises across the screen. It reaches the end of its cycle. An action script tells the playback head inside the Horizon object to now jump to return. There are no stops or any action scripts at this point, and so the playback head resumes playing until it reaches the end of its sequence. There are no stops or actions here, and once again the playback head jumps back to 1 and starts playing again until it arrives at the action script and repeats the cycle.